Last week, a Kansas City election office was threatened, and tonight we are asking if safety concerns are affecting staffing ahead of the November election.
WGEM Missouri Capitol Bureau reporter Hannah Falcon found that many places across the state are still recruiting election workers.
We can always use more poll workers.
Amid safety concerns, Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft tells me some Missouri counties are struggling to fill poll worker positions.
We have county clerks, local election authorities that have reduced the number of polling places they have, not for lack of a place to have it, not for lack of equipment, but because of the lack of enough individuals to actually fill that as poll workers.
Kansas City election officials say they're fully staffed, but are facing security concerns after receiving a threatening piece of mail last week. Elections officials across the state tell me security is heightened this year. Counties plan to have local law enforcement stationed at polling locations, some not in uniform. No other counties that I spoke with today have received any threats, but they do have concern for staffing.
Hiring election judges is always our number one kind of pain point.
Boone County Clerk Brianna Lennon is still recruiting poll workers, but says she thinks the county will have just enough by Election Day.
We will get as many as we need, but just as many as we need. We really like to have a backup list in case an emergency happens for somebody on a Tuesday morning and 4:30 in the morning they can't come.
Lennon's issue is echoed across the state. Greene County and St. Louis County elections offices told me the same thing today. They still need more backups. Reporting in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon, WGEM News.
Now.